5 minutes after payday, most people do one of two things: spend without thinking or set money aside for the future. You've got about 5 minutes to decide which path you take. I'm going to show you a simple routine you can do every payday that helps you build toward $2,800 a month in dividend income without starving yourself or cutting all the fun. No fancy terms, just practical steps that work. My name's Richard. I help 9 to 5 workers set up automatic money systems so you don't have to guess what to do each time you get paid. Stick with me because there's one small mistake that slows people down for months, and fixing it takes about 30 seconds before this video ends. Here's why we start with a quick 15-second pause. Right after you get paid, it's easy to start spending in your head. If you don't add a small speed bump, your spending grows and your savings shrink. Most people think money is all about complex math. Really, it's about simple habits you repeat. Build the habit first, and the numbers take care of themselves. What are we doing? Two things: a 15-second pause and a 5-minute checklist. The rule is simple: save first, spend second. That means the moment money hits your account, a set percentage moves out automatically before you buy anything. It goes into what I call your Freedom Hub, one main savings account that's easy to open at most banks. From there, you split it between two goals: your emergency fund and your investments. Let me show you exactly how. I let my paycheck land, then I wait one day, not because it needs to settle, because I want a clean ledger. The morning after payday, 2 automatic transfers fire. One to savings in the Freedom Hub, one to my brokerage. I don't nudge sliders, I don't decide this time, it's automatic. That tiny system created something I didn't expect: calm. My spending adjusts to what's left. My savings rate doesn't negotiate with my mood. Starter allocation bands keep this realistic. Necessities up to 60%. Pay yourself. First at 20 to 30%, split between savings and investing. Debts at 10 to 20%. Fun at 5 to 10%. If your necessities are over 60%, that's your signal to audit needs versus nice to haves. Call your internet provider, downsize the car, cancel the third streaming bundle. Every percentage point you pull back feeds your future dividend income. Quick win time: set 2 automatic transfers right now, even if it's $10 each. One goes to the Freedom Hub savings, one goes to your brokerage. Why so small? Because action beats intention. You can scale up next payday, and you will, because you'll see it working. Common mistakes to avoid: moving money manually. If you have to remember it, you'll forget it. Saving leftovers: there are never leftovers. Leftovers are myth. Not verifying your deposit against the pay stub. Tiny payroll errors compound. In your 15-second pause, confirm the net matches the stub, then scan transactions for fraud. Now here's where most people mess up the allocations. They set percentages based on hope, not reality. Start conservative. If necessities are 62%, set pay yourself first at 18% this month. Next month, pull necessities back by 1 to 2% and bump your savings up. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. Micro story: when I switched to one day settle then sweep, the tension in my shoulders dropped. The money moved without me. A week later, I stopped opening my banking app 5 times a day. That calm is the product. The growing balances are the proof. Before we continue, you need to understand the transition we're making. Autopilot locks stability, but stability isn't the goal. Investing consistency is. Your next move is building the safety net that keeps you investing when life throws a curveball. That's what protects your dividend plan from getting derailed by a flat tire or a surprise bill. Let's build that cushion next. This is the part that keeps your dividend plan alive when life gets messy. Without a buffer, every emergency becomes debt at 20% APR, and debt at 20% outruns a 4% dividend portfolio all day. The thing most people miss is that investing isn't hard, interruptions are. Your emergency fund removes interruptions. What are we building? 3 to 6 months of true necessities, sitting in something liquid, boring, and insured, a high-yield savings account in your Freedom Hub, not in stocks, not in a CD you can't touch, not in a high-yield checking account with hoops. We want money you can grab at 2 a.m. if you need a tow truck. Here's an easy way to size it. Add up your real basics, not Nice to haves, that's rent or mortgage, utilities, basic groceries, minimum debt payments, gas or transit, insurance, a basic phone plan, and meds. If those add up to $2,700 a month, your emergency fund goal is $8,000 to $16,000. That's 3 to 6 months. If it's $3,500 a month, aim for $10,500 to $21,000. Go closer to 3 months if your job is stable and there are two incomes in the house. Go closer to 6 months if you're self-employed, on commission, or your work is unpredictable. How do you build it without stopping investing? Split your pay yourself first amount. Example, if you save 25% of your paycheck, send 15% to investments and 10% to your emergency fund until it's full. After it's full, send that 10% to investments too. You keep investing while the cushion grows. One tiny mindset trick. Name the account Break Glass Only. Put a calming photo in your phone tied to that goal. It reminds your brain this money has a job and keeps you from dipping into it for non-emergencies. Micro story. I had a laptop die and a car repair in the same month. Old me would have swiped a card and paid it off for 6 months. New me tapped the buffer, replaced both, and my auto invest still ran. That month wasn't cheap, but my plan didn't blink. That's the win. Common mistakes to avoid: investing the emergency fund. Markets dip right when you need the cash. Don't risk it. Locking it in CDs, emergencies don't wait for maturity dates, and calling luxuries needs. Eating out and premium plans don't belong in your baseline. Building it manually. Automate the top-up so you're not negotiating every payday. Implementation checklist. Fast, open a high-yield savings account that's FDIC or NCUA insured inside your Freedom Hub. Calculate your necessities and set a target number with a date. Create an automatic transfer every payday for a fixed dollar amount. Turn on alerts when the balance crosses milestones so you get a little dopamine hit. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Set a minimum floor and a refill rule. If your floor is $10,000 and you need $800 for a real emergency, your next payday routine automatically refills that $800 before buying extra shares. No thinking, no guilt, just back to baseline. Once your foundation is solid, your next dollar is permission to grow. Now we turn that stability into passive income that stacks every paycheck. Now we turn stability into cash flow. The thing most people miss is you don't need a complicated portfolio to build dividend income. You need a consistent buyer's plan into a simple diversified mix, and we're going to auto-invest into 4 funds that play different roles. SCHD, VIG, DGRO, and DIVO. Together they balance quality, growth, and smoother income, and they're easy to automate on payday. Here's the quick why. Dividend growth funds tilt you toward companies that not only pay, but raise their payouts over time. That combats inflation and gives you a built-in raise. A covered call fund like Devo adds options income to smooth cash flow. Blend them and you get a reasonable yield today with room to grow tomorrow. Simple beats fancy. What are these funds actually doing? SCHD is the workhorse. It focuses on high-quality US dividend payers with strong fundamentals. Think profitability, cash flow, and sustainable payouts. Yield tends to be higher than pure growth funds, but it's built on quality screens, not just chasing the fattest yield. The result is dependable income from companies that can afford it. VIG is the steady raise fund. It focuses on companies that have a habit of raising their dividends every year. The payout today might be smaller than SCHD, but those regular raises can make your income bigger over time, like getting a small raise at work every year. DGRO is the Broad Dividend Growers Fund. It spreads money across many companies that pay and grow dividends, and it tries to avoid firms paying out too much of their profits. Those are more likely to cut payments. It overlaps with VIG a bit, but not fully, so owning both gives you a wider mix of solid dividend growers. Devo is the smoother paycheck fund. It owns big, well-known companies and uses a simple option strategy, selling covered calls, to add extra income. In plain English, it may give you steadier payouts, especially when the market is flat. The trade-off is you might miss a bit of the big upside in booming markets, but for a paycheck plan, that extra stability can help. How do we set this to run by itself? Keep it simple. Buy the same dollar amount every payday. That's all dollar cost averaging means. Pick your split once and let it run. A beginner friendly starting mix a lot of people use is 40% SCHD, 25% VIG, 25% DGRO, 10% DEVO. Why this mix? SCHD gives you more cash now, VIG and DGRO aim to give you raises over time, and DEVO helps make the monthly income feel steadier. Want more income right now? Move Devo up to 15% and trim a little from VIG and DGRO. Want more growth because you're early in your journey? Tilt more toward VIG and DGRO. Now, the income rate, your blended yield. Think of it like an average paycheck from the whole basket. With the 40-25-25-10 mix, your income rate might land somewhere around the mid 3% to low 4% range, depending on the market. The big idea, don't chase the single highest number. Steady companies plus growing dividends usually beats a flashy yield that gets cut later. Your future paycheck comes from two things: what it pays now and how much it can grow. Quick target math to make $2,800 per month feel real. $2,800 a month is $33,600 a year. If your income rate is about 3.5%, you'd need roughly $960,000 invested. If it's about 4.5%, you'd need about $747,000. If it's about 5%, you'd need about $672,000. These numbers move with the market, so treat them as a range, not an exact target. Your main controls are how much you invest each month, how long you keep going, and how consistent you stay. Timeline levers you control increase your pay yourself. First percent as raises hit. Grab every dollar of employer match. Free money accelerates compounding. Add side income and route it straight to auto-invest before lifestyle sees it. Early on, turn DRIP on to reinvest dividends automatically. Later, when income is meaningful, you can selectively take cash. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Keep the contribution static during down markets and let DRIP do the heavy lifting. Shares are on sale, your fixed dollars buy more units, and future dividends rise with share count. That's the emotional opposite of what most people do, which is pause investing when prices fall. Micro story: my first automated buy was $50 into SCHD. Tiny. But the moment I saw the confirmation hit without me touching anything, it clicked. I wasn't waiting to feel motivated. I had a machine buying my freedom on schedule. That mental shift matters more than the $50. Common mistakes to avoid: chasing yield into junk. A 9% yield that gets cut to 3% wrecks your plan. Turning off DRIP too early. Reinvest while your portfolio is small. Harvest later. Ignoring expense ratios. These funds are low cost. Keep it that way. Skipping the employer match. That's an immediate raise for your future self. Risk notes, in plain English. Sometimes companies lower their dividends. Owning a mix of different types of funds and sectors helps soften the hit if one area has trouble. Funds like Devo, which use a covered call strategy, might not keep up when the market is racing up, but they can feel steadier when the market is bumpy. Also, the order of good and bad years matters most when you start taking money out. That's why you want a mix of growth and income and that emergency fund, so you don't have to sell investments at a bad time. Quick tax basics to set expectations. In regular taxable accounts, many dividends get a lower tax rate if you hold the shares long enough. These are called qualified dividends, but some don't income from covered call strategies can include amounts that don't get the lower rate. This is why accounts with tax benefits like 401ks and IRAs are great for compounding. Your money can grow with less tax drag. Don't get stuck on tax details. Fill tax-advantaged accounts first if you can, then keep investing in a taxable account and stay consistent. The quiet game changer, your contribution escalator. Every time your paycheck goes up or you pay off a debt, increase your auto invest by $10 to $50 right away. You won't feel it now, but it adds up big over the years. With your income rising, the next step is making sure high-interest debt doesn't steal your progress. You can't build a dividend paycheck while paying 20% interest on debt. High-interest debt, anything in the double digits, grows faster than most investments, so first we protect your progress, cut your costs, and keep your options open. Why this matters. One late payment can drop your credit score and make every future loan pricier. That can mean higher rates on cars, mortgages, even insurance in some states. Two simple habits keep costs low. Always pay on time and keep credit use low. Try to use under 30% of your card limits. Under 10% is even better before a big loan. Here's the plan in plain English. 3 steps. First, pay at least the minimum on every debt every month. No exceptions. Second, choose one way to attack the extra and stick with it. Third, automate the whole thing. And when a debt is paid off, send that freed up payment straight to your investments the same day. How to choose your payoff method. Avalanche, math first. List debts with balances, interest rates, APR, and minimums. Pay minimums on all, then put every extra dollar on the highest APR. This saves the most interest. Snowball, motivation first. List by smallest balance to biggest. Pay minimums on all, then crush the smallest balance first for a quick win. That momentum helps you keep going. Both methods work if you don't switch halfway through. Pick one, automate it, and let time do the heavy lifting. Now make it hands off. Turn on auto pay for every bill for at least the minimum from your checking account. Set those payments to happen the day after your Freedom Hub sweep, so the money is already in place. Then set one more automatic payment that sends extra money to the single debt you're focusing on. When that debt hits zero, don't let that extra cash get spent by accident. The same day, increase your auto invest by the exact payment you just freed. Keep the momentum. Micro story. I had a store card with a $1,200 balance. I used the snowball method and set an extra $175 per month on autopay. After 3 paychecks, it was gone. That same $175 now auto buys SCHD for me every month. No decisions, no effort. It felt small at first. A year later, it's a solid bump in my share count. Credit basics, quick, paying on time is the biggest factor. Set simple phone reminders a week before due dates, even with autopay, so you can double-check things posted. Try to use less than 30% of your credit limit on each card. Under 10% is even better before a big loan. If your card is about to send the monthly statement and your balance looks high, make a small extra payment a few days early. That lowers what gets reported and can help you qualify for better rates later. Mistakes to avoid: switching payoff methods when you get bored, finish the plan you chose and ignoring tiny balances, small wins free cash and boost motivation, letting utilization spike right before a mortgage or auto loan, time payments early, taking on new debt for wants while you're in payoff mode, wants wait. Accountability hack: get a money buddy. Every payday, send a 2-line check-in. What ran, what changed, and one win. Add small rewards for streaks. Hit 3 on-time pay cycles. Treat yourself to a $10 fun budget, not a $300 splurge. Also, unsubscribe from retailer promos and turn off push notifications. Remove temptation, you'll make fewer impulse buys. Here's the kicker. Debt freedom isn't just lower interest, it's flexibility. Lower monthly obligations mean you can raise your pay yourself first percent, stomach market dips without panic, and take opportunities when they show up. Once debt is contained and credit is clean, your dividend engine gets to run without drag. Now we'll tighten the loop with a payday routine that upgrades itself automatically. Here's my routine in plain English. I save 25% first. Until my emergency fund is full, I send about 70% of that to investments and 30% to savings. For investments, I use 40% SCHD, 25% VIG, 25% DGRO, 10% DEVO. My paycheck hits Friday. On Saturday, the automatic transfers run. On Monday, I check that the buys happened, and I write down my current monthly dividend number. It's simple, it works. Easy goal math so you have a target. You want $2,800 per month. That's $33,600 per year. If your average yield is around 3.5%, you'll need close to $1 million invested. If it's closer to 4.5%, you'll need around $750,000. Don't stress the exact figure. Use the range. What you control is how much you invest each month and how long you keep going. Think in simple monthly dollars. If you're putting in $500 a month, that's solid. Write it down and watch your monthly dividend number. climb past $100, then $250, then $500. If you can bump it to $1,000 over time, from raises or after paying off a debt, you'll reach your goal faster. If your job matches retirement contributions, grab every matched dollar. It's free money. Any side income? Send it straight to your automatic investments before you can spend it. Keep motivation easy. In your notes, write goal: $2,800 per month equals $33,600 per year. Under it, write your current monthly dividend number, annual dividends divided by 12. Celebrate small wins with small planned rewards. Once a month, have a quick money check-in, about 15 minutes, to adjust your savings, chart, and investing percentages if needed, rebalance if one fund got too big, and make sure your emergency fund is still at the target. Avoid these common slip-ups, letting raises disappear into spending. Fix it with auto-escalation. The day you get a raise, increase your savings/investing percentage. Forgetting to update transfers after a debt is paid off. Set a calendar reminder 1 week before the final payment to increase your auto-invest by that exact payment amount. Moving money manually. Keep it automated. That's your advantage. Open loop payoff. The one mistake that steals months: keeping automation static after income changes. You solved it with auto escalation. Add a rule: every January and every raise, increase your auto invest by at least 1% of take home or $25, whichever is bigger. It's a 30-second change. It compounds for decades. You now have the playbook. Keep it boring, keep it automatic. Let the dividends build while you live your life. Set up one automatic transfer and buy the same simple mix: SCHD, Viga, DGRO, Divo, every payday. That's how you turn each check into steady progress toward $2,800 per month in dividends. No guessing, no timing the market. Just repeat the process. If you want more help, subscribe and watch the next video on easy allocation tweaks and which accounts to use. Start your first auto transfer today.